Today I want to show you how to propagate a rose from a cutting. Me personally, it took me ages until I learned how to do it properly, and it came out that it's actually very easy and a very simple procedure to do, but there are just some tiny details that if we follow correctly, you will most definitely have a success. I will also show you a few mistakes I did today, and I will show you some of my successes, what is happening with them, and later on in the spring or in the summer I will do a follow-up video for you to show you how the experiment that I'm gonna start now is going on. So we are end of January right now, and usually it is good to put your cuttings, to start your cuttings for rooting in the autumn. But because our winter is quite mild, I will give it a try now with this rose that we have here. The first most important thing is to choose from where to take your cuttings. You want to make sure that the stem that you are choosing was one that flowered, and you will figure that out by usually on top of it there's a continuation where the flower was, and this will be the part that dries out with time and it falls off. It's something like this one. If you can see the difference, it already dried out this part, and this is where the flower was here. So usually this is where these stems fall, and from around that end the stem usually have some sleeping buds that develop eventually, and they continue growing. I want to show you better a sleeping bud here on this one. I don't know if you're seeing it. It's this, my focus goes away, is the little pink bud right here, right on top. Now we have some stronger buds here, and what we are looking for is so that also the stem has some buds that will actually go underground, because we will put this stem in the ground and we want some of the buds to go underground because they will help us with the rooting process. We want also at least a couple of buds to be coming out on top. So you want to choose a cutting something between 15 to 20 centimeters long, and of course the stronger the stem is, the better results you can expect. So I have chosen this particular stem today. I can take a couple of cuttings from it, or I can take cuttings from several different stems, like this one as well, for example. You see, these were flowers here, so I am sure that this stem most definitely had flowers, and it will serve me a very good purpose. So now I have to cut my stems and we will proceed with the rest. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut my stems longer, and then we're gonna shape them. We'll take this one as well. be long enough. I'm doing everything with one hand. And I will try a thinner one, like this one here, to see if we're gonna have good results with it as well. So my camera actually went off and I couldn't show you the process of putting the cuttings in the ground, but it's the easiest thing to do. So you just have to make sure that the earth is worked enough, that it's not frozen. And when you put your cuttings in the ground, you have to make sure as well that a few of the buds go on the ground, like we already spoke, and a few of these stay on top, like we have here. The next step to do is cover this with a plastic bottle on top. Make sure it goes very well in the ground so it doesn't move if there's wind. And this will serve as a small greenhouse so that your rose cuttings can start successfully. If you have any leaves on the cuttings, you want to cut them off beforehand. Cutting, I find, is better than just pulling them down, not to damage the cutting itself. But generally what we just have to do, we have to remember that there should be no leaves and no flowers on the cuttings. These are not gonna be for my garden, they're for my grandmother's garden, so I will take them out later on. But they have already been in the ground for a while. They're fresh and very good. They've been here maybe for about a month or so. As you can see, it's very sturdy. It doesn't move anywhere, the bottle. It doesn't go out. There's another one here. They're also very fresh and looking good. But I want to show you my mistakes. So even though I'm a fan of as natural as possible, and that's why in some places I used a glass jar instead of a plastic bottle. Unfortunately, most of the places where I used a glass jar, I'm not having a good success. It was starting to develop here, but eventually it died off. I already have one stem, one cutting that I threw away because it entirely died. And I'm having the same results with almost all the cuttings which were under a jar. And on the contrary, I'm going to show you, this is the best developing one so far, under a plastic bottle. I think the plastic, because it's not so heavy and it lets the plant breathe somehow and at the same time protect it. I don't know, but indeed the results with the plastic bottle are amazing. Look at this. So far it's doing absolutely gorgeous. The stems are very healthy, even though I have a couple of leaves that died here, but it was very frosty. They started developing prematurely, and the last 1 month was very cold in the night. So we will do a follow-up on this one as well in the spring. Let's put it back here. And that's it. We'll open them up when it's already warm enough. Until then, they will keep on growing under these covers. Look at another one under glass. It also completely died. I'm still keeping them with some hope, but They're all black and I don't think anything will develop from them. One more that is doing fantastic under a plastic bottle. As you can see, it's fabulous. And that will be the end of this video. I wish you lots of success with this method. It's very easy. Last year I tried without any cover on top. I had a complete failure, and this year I'm having great results, and I hope you do so too.